November 21st, I believe. I would call this we did get a few snowflakes yesterday, but this would be, I guess, our first official snowfall for the year. So we got Jared and Kyle on the road this morning hauling corn. Dustin just left, running a load of beans. And I'm gonna get my radiant heater going this morning here in the shop. Batteries were dead in the controller. Well, it came out a lot easier than it's wanting to go in. There we go. It's 57 in here, which isn't bad. We'll see if we can't get this going. Just take a little bit of dampness out of the air. So we'll run that radiant heater for a while. I have not started the geothermal floor heat yet. I really need to get an HVAC guy out here just to check the system. I haven't done that for a couple of years. But if you remember in the last video or the previous video, when we were moving the excavator, we had an airline leak on this detached trailer right here. So while the guys are on the road, I'm going to start pulling airlines and replacing all the airlines on the trailer here. One thing I've figured as I get older, the more I can document how things came apart, better off I am, because I have a tendency to forget, maybe. They didn't like the zip ties, that's for sure. You know, I'm not going to lie to you guys. It really doesn't bother me not to be in a semi. It's kind of nice having 3 people to run. And I can mess around in the shop or just work on keeping them going. Oh, that came out a lot easier than I thought it was going to. I mean, this stuff is just, I've never seen airlines get that brittle before. I don't know if just I'm not sure, but what the straight black airline doesn't have a little more UV protection to it. Because my black airline is really good. What's bad is the collar. This I may just use all black airline to put it back together. see if that lasts a little longer. I mean, that wasn't bad. I've had this trailer since, I think it was like 2015. So, I mean, that's 10 years old, so I don't know that it's a big deal. And the collared airline may be a little difficult to find at just an auto parts store. So, we'll see what we can find. Made it back from the auto parts store. Ended up with just going with all black airline. I guess for no other reason than that's all they had. And I do think that it'll hold up in the sun a little better than the collared. All right, well right now I'm gonna get a few more winter clothes on. Kyle and Jared are on their way back to Gypville to pick up another load of corn. So I'm gonna go over, I gotta get the pit cleaned out. I'm sure there's water in it. And start putting some corn in the overhead. So on my way to the auto parts store, they were pulling all of the eastbound 74 traffic off, sending it through town. And according to Jared, they were pulling all the traffic off at a Crawfordsville exit, all the westbound traffic. Not really sure. It sounds like there's a couple of different incidences that all had to do with overpasses that had kind of got slick and froze up over the night. Fortunately, none of our trucks were involved in any of those things, but it seems like it always takes at least one or two inclement weather scenarios before people start realizing that it's cold outside, it's raining, it's snowing. Roads might be a little slick. Well, I have to say it looks like I cleaned out the leg for no reason at all. I thought for sure these rains we had would have put some water in the leg, or in the pit, but I guess not. We got it pulling out of the northwest bend. About 30 amps right now on the leg. Give those belts a little bit of time to warm up. Being just cold and wet. Kyle made it back. So get this tarp open. I'll get him loaded. About 8 minutes and we'll have you back on the road.
So much for a clean truck.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
15 years ago, I would have never dreamed they would both be standing there back on the farm. Thanks for a happy dad.
Come out here. Be careful.
So Dustin got his load of beans off. Pretty good line in Lafayette. Was not going to have him go back to Lafayette today in that mess, so we're just going to load him back with a load of corn and send him to Crawfordsville. Pull the trucks off at that point. Weather's supposed to get a little sloppy, and maybe get him loaded back with beans for morning. And speak of the devil, there he is. Man, it is cold out there, just very damp. Hopefully he doesn't encounter too big a line, although I'm sure it's going to be an hour plus, maybe 2 hours. All right, well, I'm headed back to the shop, grab me a little lunch, and start working on those airlines again. Blue line's pretty easy. It's just a simple length. Simple as that. What I didn't mark was on this red one where it's got a T in it. I didn't mark which length went to the front and which length went to the back. Not a big deal. Pretty easy to figure that out. Remember, it went on the top of the bottom, which is why I took the pictures. Went on top. I think somebody's wanting it in the shop. Hey, are you wanting inside where it's warm? Come here. Come here, bud. Yeah. Inside where it's warm. Well, I'm not sure when the battery died, but I got all the airlines hooked back up. I've just got to get some zip ties put back on, get everything tied down and out of the way, and I think this job is done. While we got it in the shop, we'll probably check all the brakes and air pressures in the tires. We'll probably go ahead and get our binders and everything oiled, make sure they're lubricated good. But right now I'm going to run back to Jipville, get trucks loaded for morning, and we'll see you back here at the shop in just a little bit. Well, it looks like the snow finally got here this afternoon. That's a good deal. We got guys on the way home. We'll get the trucks parked before it gets too bad. I think they're talking upwards of maybe 2 inches, so the roads probably won't get terrible, but they're going to get sloppy. I like the snow. So it's been a few winters since we've had much. So we'll see what happens this year. I don't know that I want a lot. Be nice to have good snow up until about Christmas, and then dry out and forget the snow. Well, we've got 2 corn trucks loaded for morning. It was snowing hard enough that we didn't load Dustin for beans, since it's a lot slower loading.
Yeah, and it was nasty.
It was really putting it down. We've probably got an inch on the ground or so. So anyway,
hopefully that's clear by morning.
Yeah, so we're hoping that by morning we can finish corn contracts tomorrow and
focus on the beans.
So, random fact, got Christmas coming up, all the sweet little grandkids.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's what's today? 21st. Another week before Thanksgiving, and my wife already has the house decorated. 2 Christmas trees up and everything.
Shame.
I know.
It should never happen before Thanksgiving.
No, that's the way we were raised. Thanksgiving's over, then Christmas. Until then.
Jared, do you know what reindeer like to snack on?
Milk and cookies. Like Santa.
Bananas, believe it or not.
Do they grow? Are there banana trees up on the North Pole?
I don't think so. Remember that.
Yeah.
So,
set a banana out with your milk and cookies under the Christmas tree.
There you go. So, anyway, thanks for joining us today.
Hit that subscribe button, as always.
Yeah, we'll see you in the next one.